Hello and welcome to another week of Sambo iRacing. We're back with the track guide at the Red Bull Arena at Spielberg in the Dallara F3 on iRacing. If you're new to my channel, what we do is a hot lap, a breakdown lap, and then we're back in the cockpit one final time, the driving line on. This is using the fixed setup, so this is using the Red Bull setup on iRacing, and it is using 52.1% brake bias. Right, let's start the lap. Right, let's start the hot lap. So whilst this is the iRacing fixed setup, this is at the end of a relatively long stint. So I'm nice and light on fuel. We took that first corner in third gear. Now up the hill. Now I take this turn 3 actually in second gear rather than first. I just found it far easier to get on the gas nice and early. Not have to worry too much about the wheel spin out of it. Come into turn 4 here. This is another second gear corner. Long trail off. Never braking much harder than about 55% in this car. We drop it down to 4th and then into 3rd. Feed the power back on. I'm going to leave it in 4th here around turn 7. And the important thing is not to over brake in these final 2 corners. So leave it in 5th, back on the gas, drop it down to 4th, and again keeping those right hand tyres on the green rumble strip. Moving across the line in a 23.741. Let's do the breakdown. Okay, breakdown lap. So our first braking marker is going to be just after the 100-meter board that I'm going past here. So as we go past it, I'm going to brake up to about 55%, 50% there or thereabouts. Wipe off some of that speed, start turning in, trail it off, drop it down to 3rd gear. We're getting back on the gas at the apex here, making sure the car's settled, and then I'm back on 100%. We don't want to go over this yellow no-cut curb on the left-hand side. And we're just trying to keep the car as straight as possible up the hill. And same thing, just after the 100-meter marker, we're going to brake again up to about 60%, drop it down to 5th, down to 4th, down to 3rd, down to 2nd, trailing off now as you come away from the curbing on the left-hand side and we start the turn in. And now I'm getting back on the gas as I'm at the apex here of turn 3. Just waiting for the car to settle down and straighten up, and then I'm back on 100%. Now we come into turn 4. And again, just after the 100-meter board, we're going to brake up to about 60%. Wipe that speed off in the straight line. Trail off your brakes as you move towards the apex. We're wanting to cut this corner. We're in 2nd gear. We're building back up on the gas in a fairly gradual manner. Back at 100% before we hit exit. Up through the gears. Up to 5th gear. Now, it's very easy to get an off-track here. You need to keep the centre of your car over the red and white rumble strips. Now, as we get to the 50-meter marker, we're just going to lightly dab the brakes up to about 30%, drop it down to 4th, drop it down to 3rd. We're still trailing off on the brake now. And as we come off the brake, we're going to feed that power back on in 3rd gear. We're back up 100%, about halfway through the corner. Exit wide, up to 4th gear, and then it's the end of this rumble strip here that you see in front of you. That's when we're going to do a very light dab of the brakes again, only up to about 20% this time. Long trail off. We're feeding the power back on in 4th gear. Back up through the gears as we come into turn 9. And it's going to be just before the 50-meter marker. We're going to do a light dab on the brakes again, only up to about 23%, as you can see here. Trail it off down to the apex, and then as we hit the apex, we're getting back on the gas. We're back on 100% in 5th gear. It's going to send us to a nice wide entry into turn 10. Again, you've got to keep your right-hand tyres on the red and white rumble strip here. And the braking marker is, well, there isn't really an easy one to spot, but you should just get a feel to it. It's just before you get to the end of the big red and white coloured asphalt on the left-hand side. And we're just braking up to about 35%, trailing it off, drop it down to 4th gear, and we're getting back onto 100% before we hit this apex. Now we've got to keep our left-hand tyre on the track, but we can take quite a bit of curb on the inside. It's going to send you out wide, and as I say, we've got to keep our left-hand tyres and the left rear got close on the green and white rumble strip that's right in front of the car here. And that's the breakdown. We have one final lap version coming up now with the driving line on. Or officiate for people that like it. As always, thanks for your continued support. I've been Sambo iRacing, and I'll see you guys in the week. Cheers.